Excellent. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's good to meet you. Again, my name is Andrea Hess, and I will be pitching Oceeto for your consideration. And so, just in a nutshell, our mission is to create innovative products that help respond to some of the biggest problems facing today's parents and caregivers. Starting with the fact that today there really isn't a single garment that permits busy women, especially moms, to really move seamlessly through all the activities of their day, including some of the messy ones with ease, comfort, and to do it presentably. And I know this firsthand because I've experienced it at different stops and stations of life, whether I had little babies and they were spitting up on me all the time, whether I had, little toddler hands on me, or even, for today when I'm spilling makeup on myself as I'm trying to get out of the house and rush two other people to school. And so what I really found is that none of the tools did exactly what I needed it to do. And I remember lamenting this problem and this pain point to my husband, at which point he, of course, challenged me to come up with something better. And so I did. And that is how the cardigan was born. So meet the cardigan. I happen to be wearing one. This patented product really has three features that I love to highlight and talk about. First and foremost is that it offers all over coverage. And we were able to ensure that there is a snug fit, even all the way up to the neck, comfortably and easily through our patented two-way closing mechanism. And that two-way closing mechanism allows for two things. First and foremost, it allows for incredibly easy opening and closing. It means you can do it ambidextrously. You can do it if you're differently abled. It is easy and it is quiet. Secondly, it offers two or double the surface area. So that means if you need it for messes, think leaks, spills, those sorts of things, you've got it. And then lastly, but not least, the cardigan really is like a chameleon. I love the fact that this product can go anywhere with you. It's a simple design, it's easy, it's classic, but it's subtle enough to remain and hold on to its functionality, whether you're at home having a meltdown, you're enjoying that glass of wine, or whether you're out and about in a public space. Now, of course, as I mentioned, I'm wearing one, and I would love to demo it for you in a little bit. But I want to be clear, this is not just me sort of making these in my house as a hobby. This really has gotten some really great feedback. And as a result, we are proud to share some of the great testimonials that we have. There's a few here, some of the ones that I handpicked. But I really wanted to hone in on this one in the middle. This is one that I'm very proud of. It came in about 3 months ago. And you'll note that the person who sent its name is Kirk. He was actually a father, and he was observing his wife using a cardigan, and he loved it so much and was so impressed by how it worked and functioned that he sent a text message saying, "How can I buy more of these? And I want to buy them today." And so that obviously is a great demonstration of demand and interest, but it is not the only one. So anecdotal feedback is important, but of course we have strong data, we believe, to support our endeavor. We've done a number of touch points frequently, continually, for long periods of time and for short periods of time, whether through surveys or questionnaires. We've reached out and found that participants had a great interest in using the cardigan, but in particularly in purchasing it for a gift. In fact, you'll see here that this representation indicates that over 60% of our participants had a greater than 70% likelihood of wanting to buy the cardigan right now, right then, for a person in their life. So we're incredibly excited about those sorts of data and data points. Now, of course, I could go on and on about the future, which I'm excited about, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you about where we've been. And so this slide just indicates some of the milestones that we've experienced. Two that I'd love to highlight right now are the fact that in the fall of last year, we were selected to receive one of Delaware's coveted Edge Grant Awards. And then, of course, just most recently, Innovation Delaware was kind enough to highlight Oceeto as one of its companies in the most recent publication that came out. It's actually still available if you have any interest in checking it out. Now, that is Oceeto in a nutshell and more about the cardigan, but in terms of me and who makes up the team. Again, my name is Andrea Hess, and you'll see a little bit more about my professional background here. One of the things I like to highlight is that not only am I the inventor of the cardigan and the patent holder, but I also have a background in working with startups, specifically large, unwieldy, growing venture-backed startups. It was in the healthcare space, but in that instance, I was really taking my legal skills and meshing it with legal operations, ensuring that we could leverage technology to optimize and bring efficiency to our practice. The other side of this screen is equally as important, and I'm very proud to highlight our strategic partners and advisors. These are hard-fought relationships, and these are some of the best in the business. I am proud to say that they stand with me and that they bring their know-how and their subject matter expertise, whether it's marketing, manufacturing, strategy, or just straight up product development. And their input is critical to our overall success in the market. Speaking about the market, we've done extensive research and believe that there are 3 markets where the cardigan really has a place to get a foothold. But our research and a lot of our data shows that the initial ideal entry point for us would really be in the maternity wear space. And that's simply a segment of women's wear. Now, we can have all the research that we want on markets and product and have the best product, but at the end of the day, we have to commercialize and make money off of this product. And so here I just go over very briefly about our revenue model for the cardigan, specifically looking at it in the retail space though, just to better orient you. So the vision is to really offer the cardigan at $69.99, roughly $70. Keeping our unit cost down to $30, no more than that, that would bring in a gross profit of about $40, $39.99 exactly, which would keep us in that high average space of about 57% gross profit margin. Again, this is a retail model, and our aim is to really push this model through 2 channels. Traditional retail, e-commerce, which interestingly enough has become traditional, but to also pull levers, the retail levers within social media, looking specifically at Instagram as well as Pinterest because of the way their models work. And then looking to get more customer information and updating customers through conferences and meetings. There are a number that take place in the state of Delaware, which we think is a great launching point. And then there's one national one that takes place at the end of the year each year that has about 5,000 attendees. And so that's our aim and goal to ultimately get to retail through those different entry points. Secondarily, we see partnerships as being pivotal, especially for a new and emerging brand. There are local shops, specifically there are 2 in Newark, and then there's one in North Wilmington that I've begun in initial conversations with about what it looks like to retail through that partnership. There's also the B2B space, and this actually came about after a conversation I had at the start of the year with someone who represented an organization. It's called DAPI, and their organization focuses on maternal health and well-being for a particular subset. And we talked about what would it look like for their Oceeto to supply cardigans to their cohorts when we are up and running and have more supply to get to them. So that was an interesting conversation that'll let me know, again, this is an alternative option to just direct to consumer. That could be a great opportunity for us. Lastly, I wanted to highlight licensing. Typically, this is something that comes toward the end or maybe when a brand is a little bit more seasoned, but we actually have a unique opportunity. Our manufacturing partner right now is based in Newcastle County and has an adjacent product line, and he's expressed interest after having some of his customers come in and see the cardigan and potentially taking the closing mechanism and leveraging that in his particular space. So these are all exciting examples of how we plan on pushing our model through channels to make sure that we are generating revenue. I am super excited to talk to you more about this, demo the product, but ultimately I just want to thank you so much for listening. I want to share with you how excited I am again to tell you about all that we're doing, answer some of your questions at the end. And with your support, I believe that we'll get 2 things. 1, additional goods to make products to sell. And then of course, that inherently means that we'll have the ability to optimize our efficiency, particularly in the manufacturing, which means better pricing, which is critical for a CPG product. I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I will simply thank you again for your time and then open it up to any questions.